Hi, I'm Faith McCann, and I'm a host of The Magical Alternative. I'm a teacher of the magical arts, a historian, an artist, a writer, and a witch. I've taught the science and arts of magic and witchcraft for over 40 years. Witchcraft is neither good nor evil. It is simply a tool. And The Magical Alternative is a show about magic and the wonders of our world and the amazing people that make this a beautiful place to live. And you don't have to be a witch to watch. I hope you watch The Magical Alternative. Hello and welcome to The Magical Alternative. I'm Faith McCann and this is November Sound. Thank you for being here. Miss Laurel, unfortunately, was not able to be with us tonight, but Miss Laurel, feel better. We're sending you love and light and hope you're going to be here next month. So, happy Valentine's Day, guys. How are you? Good, good. Nice to see you here. Did you have a great holiday?
Yes, we did.
Oh, good, good. Well, we are here to discuss everything Valentine's and all about the happy day of love. So since Miss Laurel is not here, I've got you guys, we've got the crew, and we're going to be talking tonight about the history of this day of love. To start, our guests tonight are going to be Dr. Jeremy Weiss. He's going to be talking to us about Jewish love magic and Chacam Leah. And we have November Sound with two songs, classics that I think you're going to really enjoy. Valentine's Day, did you know it was a pagan holiday? I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah. Now, people have said to me, but it has a saint, St. Valentine's Day. Well, not really. You see, well, according to my notes, they put the saint in back in the 400s, took him out in 1969. I don't know what's happening there, but I'm going to tell you the real history of Valentine's Day without the saint. The very first gifts that were given as tokens of love or tokens of affection were actually bent coins. Yeah, you would get coins, and if you made a pledge, and at this point is where a saint actually comes in, back in the 500s, 600s, if you made a pledge to a saint, like a prayer, or you know, if you do something good for me, I promise I'll do something in return, and, you know, to make that wish kind of, you know, come true, you would bend a coin. And that would be a physical reminder of your pledge. And so that bent coin became a token of your pledge, and that eventually became a token of your affection. So with this, I wanted to take a moment to annoy you, if you wouldn't mind, for you, if you're watching this, to please like, subscribe, and to donate to your public access television station. And you can do so right here at our QR code. Now, back to it. In America alone, we estimate that we spend, can you believe, up to $26 billion annually alone on Valentine's Day? Just in our country. So it doesn't have to be a religious thing. For a lot of people, it's very secular. It's just a way of showing affection to family, friends, best friends, loved ones, giving small little tokens of affection. Perhaps you give candy or flowers or maybe a card. We have some cards back here. But whatever you give today is probably different from what was given hundreds of years ago. Actually, the very first evidence of this holiday went back to between 6th and the 3rd century BCE. And this was Lupercalia or Lupercus, which was held in ancient Rome. And these were fertility rites. Now, Lupercalia was held between February 13th to February 15th. So you had 3-day holiday. They loved 3-day holidays back then. I like 3-day holidays. I think they should be. If you enjoy a holiday, 3 days is good. Well, it was so long ago that they were celebrated as fertility rites. And I've seen a lot of things written that they were drunken orgies and that they were heathen and horrible and things like that. But fertility rites back then were very specific and they had a purpose. There are many times in human history where infant mortality, which would have been between the ages of birth and 5 years old, was as high as 50%. That's one in every 2 children wouldn't survive past the age of 5. So as much as parents loved their children, every single one, but having children and as many as possible was a big focus. There were multitudes of childhood diseases we haven't even heard of today. They had no vaccines, no antibiotics, no medical science as we know it. So having as many healthy children as possible was always a strong focus for any tribe, society, or civilization. And they made it an annual festival. So who is Faunus or Lupercus? Well, Faunus was another name of it, but this was a Roman god of flocks and shepherds. As the protector of the cattle, he was referred to as Lupercus, he who wards off the wolf. He had the head and torso of a man, but the hindquarters and legs of a goat in mythology. He was the god of abundance because of his lustful nature. And it was his festival that the Luperci, who was a group of people at this time, depicted him of wearing goat skins. Later, in the day of February the 15th, Juno Februata was celebrated, where we get the name February. Now, at this time, goats were sacrificed for a big feast for 2 reasons. One, they were considered tasty by many people, and they were considered very fertile and very lustful animals. And the goat skins were then cut into strips of leather. And women would run through the town. This was something women did voluntarily, and the men would lash at them, not violently, but would lash at them. And if you got lashed with one of the goat strips, that was more likely to make you pregnant. That's not how it works, but that's okay. Now, the Roman god, Faunus or Lupercus, is the counterpart of the Greek god Pan. And they were all traced back to the sun god Baal. Now we're going to take a moment to let our friend, Dr. Jeremy Weiss, discuss a little bit more about Baal, which is a Hebrew word symbolic meaning master or Lord. And now we have Dr. Jeremy Weiss of the Temple of Miriam the Prophetess and Chacam Leah. So glad to have you guys. So welcome, guys.
Hi. Well,
Hey,
well,
so-
thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much
for having us.
So glad to have you. So tell me about Jewish love magic. I mean, I'm thinking, does it go back to Adam and Eve and the apple, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
It is the
So-
oldest magic, I would say.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fact that, as all cultures have their magical traditions, okay? And, but Jewish love magic, many magical traditions, the mechanism by which they work, right, is to enchant the other person. That's the word, enchant, and cantar, right? To sing, like to romance someone,
Yes.
right? They've enchanted the other person, and they've put a spell on you, baby. Right? They've bewitched them. Exactly. And that's where we get a lot of these words,
So
right?
it's like
they become
attracting somebody.
fascinated.
Yeah, turning their will towards you. It's kind
Right. Yeah. And so a lot of cultures, their approach is to make that person into ensnare, right? It's to take away their free will, right? And then there's a lot of question about, well, is that really an ethical thing to do, right? To take away someone's, because it's non-consensual, right?
Is it really love?
Is it really love?
If
If you're enchanting, exactly, if you're bewitching them, is that really love? And Jewish love magic is unique in that it doesn't take that approach, because in the Jewish tradition, I would say, free will, the idea of free will is of highest importance, and the idea of taking away someone's free will is like abhorrent. Okay.
And any non-consensual sex is also one of the tenets. It's forbidden.
It's forbidden.
So,
Exactly. You'd be
that.
violating one of the 3 fundamental laws of Judaism. So, right, it's non-consensual. So how do you resolve that? And so Judaism has to come up with a unique response. And rather than giving someone a potion and making them into a golem that is
a love
has
zombie.
no free will and is just your love slave, right? Your love doll. Jewish love magic works by making oneself more attractive to the other person.
Yes.
By way of this carrot and stick approach. It's a very unique approach. The carrot is like, things will taste better when they're around you, right? They'll get better sleep when they're near you. They will feel more at ease. Things will be funnier when they're around you. So that's the carrot, right? And the stick is that they will just have difficulty with their bowels and be constipated when they're away from you. Okay? And that things will just smell worse. What the hell is that? When they're
So basically what you're saying is that you try to make yourself more attractive so that when they're with you, it feels good. And when they're away from you, it's painful. But not in a torturous way.
No, in a torturous way specifically.
I mean, not in a pain. You're not
Specifically.
but you want them to ache for you.
Yes, you want them to ache for you, but you do want them to be tormented without sleep. The spells do say things like,
you can turn it up to 11.
May they be tormented by insomnia without me. That is one of the things. So yeah.
So you're saying there are degrees.
Yeah, there are degrees. Yes, right. And then how strong you want to go with your words, of course, because words are magic.
But you don't want to be like a home wrecker,
Right.
You try to choose an appropriate mate, and there's the concept of the beshert, right?
Yeah.
You want to attract that one that's meant to be.
That's meant to be.
Yeah.
The beshert is a sort of in modern soulmate, twin flame, they call it that now, but
I think
it's a whole thing, yeah. But it's what is it is your fated person. Is called your beshert, and you want to attract that person.
By being the most you will find the person who's most meant to be with you. Because if you're trying to be something that you're not, you're going to attract something that's not in love with the true you.
Right. And you want to make the true you as charming, right, as possible. And that means being funny and well educated, right?
Mhm.
Knowing what to say at the right time, right? Always being in the right place, holding a drink just perfectly at the right whenever you're just like, oh my God, right? You want to be that amazing person. So
Yeah.
Jewish love magic, you work on your oneself
Yes.
to be the charmer,
Mhm.
and there's that carrot and stick approach of made the other person feel terrific when I'm around and feel lousy when I'm away.
Exactly.
Right? And then there's a praxis of solidifying that. If you were to make a charm or a segula,
Yeah.
a ritual, right, would be the sympathetic magic. You would put that into practice using sympathetic magic by doing that, like with maybe a piece of clay and burning it, firing it, right, so that their love burns like the fire of this clay and solidifies like the words or prayers on this potsherd.
Making it more permanent.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
with the person's permission and knowledge.
With the person, well, that is a good.
Well, in the Wiccan tradition, we only do a spell if the other person's aware of it.
I think it's important to know who you're getting. I don't know. I believe that if you're doing love magic, it should be to either attract someone to you who's not already in your life, or to strengthen a bond that you already have.
I mean, what if it was somebody like at work that you really
well, I think
and they were doing this kind of magic with you as the target?
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, see, so the first part of love magic, right?
You said initially you focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Attract.
You focus on you, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to attract the person, But then in part of that, at some point comes a time where you need to tell that person,
Oh yes.
Real.
hey, I have a, do you, I mean,
You want to go out sometime?
Yeah.
So
right. And so that is, and then if that's good, well, then you're all done. You don't need to proceed.
Well, do you feel that once you're already in a relationship, you no longer need to do love magic?
Oh no, well that's not no. We're talking
Okay.
about
Initial-
the portion of the initial attraction.
I see. Okay.
Of course, there's maintenance and there's repair work and there's
Okay, good.
all stages.
It's just like pursuing a relationship without magic, right? You have an interest, you want to like them, you want to get to know them better, but you can't just wish for it. You actually have to put that into motion. Something has to It's like the words without action is not.
Yeah.
You have to put it into practice.
Yeah.
And so it might give you a little encouragement to, maybe you put on some perfume, you feel more confident. It's that type of attraction magic where it makes you become, I don't know, irresistible. I guess.
But I also think that once you only fall back on this type of segula that we were talking about, right? As once you've confessed your love to someone and that you're gonna go full force to, turn, you want to turn them.
Maybe they're on the fence. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're friends. We don't know if we want to do the, relationship thing. How can we kind of determine?
You're talking about could give you that confidence, that could
Right.
give you that extra oof.
Or maybe it attracts someone else who wasn't even in your timeline,
Oh yeah, well, right, because that's right. So, well, now we have also spells to attract the right person for you, not when there's a specific target in mind, right?
Yeah.
To attract, you don't have that person yet. It's not like Bob. They're
Right.
pointed out like it's that guy, right?
Yeah. But maybe it's Bob's cousin.
It's what happens. I want to attract
Right.
a person in my life who is, thoughtful and considerate, and then, likes the same things like that I do, and is,
You know that movie Practical Magic?
Yes.
when she's like, I want a guy with one blue eye, one green eye, whose favorite shape is a star. She like creates this little love spell. And it
Yes.
ends up being, no
Yeah.
spoilers, that movie's like a few years old, but you know what I mean? Is she finds exactly the right guy.
And that was Dr. Jeremy Weiss from the Temple of Miriam the Prophetess and Chacam Leah. Thank you so much. That was so interesting. And tonight we have November Sound with 2 classic love songs. Enjoy.
Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart. For me, for me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. For me. But I'm in distress. There's danger of me losing all of my happiness. For I love a guy who doesn't know I exist, and this you can fix. So Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart. For me, nobody but me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. For me. Now Cupid, make your arrow lock the love strong for me. I promise I will love him until eternity. I know that between the two of us his heart we can steal. Help me if you will. So Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart. For me, nobody but me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. For me. Cupid, don't you hear me calling you? I need you. Cupid, help me, 'cause I need you. Oh, I need you. I need you. Dance across the floor with stolen glances now. A little candlelight for a birthday. Both of us are minds together dreaming now. Dream with me, it's okay. Many years are just a day. When you know, they say there's a fire. Now there's a fire. Was there a rainbow in the sky? Were people passing by? What took these little wrongs and made them right? When we first felt the spark, we both had broken hearts, but there's a fire in my soul tonight. Standing here in the sunset, heart ignites, simply holding hands with you. Oh, my love, dream with me. Many years or just a day, when you know, they say there's a fire. Now there's a fire. Was there a rainbow in the sky? Were people passing by? Who took these little wrongs and made them right? When we first felt the spark, we both had broken hearts, but there's a fire in my soul tonight. Was there a rainbow in the sky? Were people passing by? Who took these little wrongs and made them right? When we first felt the spark, we both had broken hearts, but there's a fire in my soul tonight. Yes, there's a fire in my soul tonight.
And that was November Sound. Great job, guys. Awesome. Cupid was an angel that is associated with this holiday. Well, Cupid was a Roman god of love who was the son of Venus, the goddess of love, and Mars, who was the god of war. Now that came from the Roman era, the Roman pantheon. But in the Greek pantheon, Cupid was known as Eros, and he was the son of Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, as well as Ares, the god of war. And he is seen often as a little cherubic angel with a bow and an arrow. Sometimes he's shown with a suit of armor, which would probably refer to the father, which was always a father, a god of war, showing his strength. So where was the saint as far as Saint Valentine? As I said, he came in 496, and that was AD, and he was taken out in 1969. But his date, his feast date, was on February 14th, kind of placed right there in the middle of Lupercalia. It was a common thing for the early Christians to overlay their holidays on original pagan holidays to kind of encourage the pagan populace to celebrate along with the new church. It made it a little bit easier for people to continue celebrating their holidays just under the new guise of the Christian religion. So what we're going to do now is show you ways that you can celebrate if you're not into the candies or the flowers, because some people don't want to do all that commercial things. Well, you can celebrate the way we do a little bit, and it's with a love spell. And welcome back. We're going to be doing a love spell that you can try yourself for Valentine's Day. Now, a love spell can be for someone who is a significant other. It could be for a friend, a family member, to keep love in the family. It could even be for communication, if you would like to communicate better, and if your words tend to be angry and aggressive or assertive and not always kind, and if you'd like to put more love into your words, a blue candle is appropriate for communication. Pink would be for family and friends, and red for that hot, passionate type of love. So you choose. Taking a scribe and engraving a symbol on the side of the candle is always helpful. A heart, why not a heart with a little arrow through it? is just as effective. If you would like a different type of candle, you can do that. We can do such things as putting a stone ring around it, or little stones that represent love, such as pink quartz. We have those here. This is a big chunk, but you can get smaller pieces, put them around. Or if you have any symbols, like we have the Queen of Hearts here, and she'd be absolutely great to have next to a candle burning to make sure that your love spell works properly. Now, it's important that you don't cast a love spell on anyone without their permission. If you have a significant other and you want to say, honey, you want to be good with me casting a love spell, make things a little bit, more spicy, and they're like, sure, go ahead, that's wonderful. But if it's somebody that maybe doesn't know about it, that's not so cool. You don't want to do that. And why do I say that? I know, I hear you now, but they were meant for me. We're soulmates. Yeah, I've heard it before. Think about it this way. What if there was somebody at work that you were not interested in at all, absolutely the last person in the world you would even think about going out with, and you found out they were doing love spells on you? Be kind of creepy, wouldn't it? Yeah, so don't do it. There's somebody special out there for you, but how you do it is you could use a red candle. Just don't visualize anybody else except yourself. You can carve it. You can take a little love potion, which is easy to find, or you can make a little bit yourself. If you don't have any love potion, you can take a little olive oil. Olive oil is always good. Rub a little bit on. And then when you go to burn your candle, make sure it's always in a safe holder, make sure it's in a safe environment, and don't leave candles burning unattended. And when you burn it, visualize yourself. Visualize maybe yourself coming home from a date, or maybe coming home and the house is happy and everybody is loving and wonderful and just exactly the way you would want it. But don't visualize anybody else without their permission. It's not going to work out good, trust me. So that is a way of doing a love spell. Just burning a simple candle, using the right colors, and making sure it burns all the way down. You can make a bit of a love spray, which is just simple water, some essential oils, a little bit of color, because color is a magical system in and of itself. Use a vegetable-based food coloring, and then just shake it up and just spritz it on you like this. Candy, such as peppermint candy with the red and the white, wonderful this time of year. If you have some left over from the holidays, it's wonderful. Open that up and put that around your candles. Or if you don't want it to catch on fire, you can put it on the plate around your candles, and that will make your spell a little bit sweeter. And then we have, where did it go? I thought I had some here, but I didn't see it. Some cord, and you can take some thin cord if you'd like, or if you have thicker cord, and you can either tie it around your wrist if you do, or just tie it with some knots. Tie about 7 knots into it, and as you tie the knots into it, I would cut this off first. As you tie the knots into it, think about yourself with love surrounding you, happiness, good times, healthy. And as you tie the knots, you tie them nice and tight, and then you can keep this in your pocket, you can keep it in your wallet, you can carry it with you. And when you feel a need for extra love in your life, you take a moment, you stop, you focus, you concentrate, take a quiet moment, and you untie one of the knots, and it releases that energy. That's how knot magic works. So these are just some ideas that you can use for the upcoming Valentine Day season, and it doesn't have to be just one day. Love can be in your life every single day. So don't just keep it for February 14th. So I hope you'll take the time to send us any questions you have to magicalalt1818@gmail.com. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Welcome back. And we are still with our guests, Dr. Jeremy Weiss and Chacam Leah, and they're from the Temple of Miriam, the Prophetess. And we are going to be talking about the Temple of Miriam. So welcome back. Dr. Jeremy, when did you found the Temple of Miriam?
Temple of Miriam was originally conceived of maybe in 2017, but didn't really take shape until 2021. Yeah, 2020.
2021
So
was the
so it was festival to the very end of 2020.
Well, can you tell my viewers, our viewers, your philosophy? It's Miriamic Judaism.
Yes,
And
yes.
I had never heard of that before I met you, even though I knew of Miriam, Moses' sister. But tell us more about it and what your whole thing is with the Temple of Miriam.
Sure. So I grew up Jewish. I was born both ethnically and religiously Jewish and culturally Jewish. But I was always somewhat dissatisfied with a lot of things in my own religious tradition. And, as I aged, I decided, hey, I'm going to have my own vision. I was struck with divine inspiration about a type of Judaism that was slightly different, a new sect, if you will, a new way of just a slightly different tweak, enough to call us our own thing. And we are just a Jewish temple with essentially one difference. And the difference is that we believe in spiritual equality, and that the laity, that's you, have access to the divine, without the need for any type of clergy or any other intermediaries, and that's the difference. That is the difference on what sets us apart from other forms of Judaism. Otherwise, we are the same.
And I would also say that we have, I would say, a focus and openness with regards to occult practices and mysticism. And we sort of embrace that aspect of Judaism rather than, think of it as old-fashioned or archaic or outdated or forbidden. It's actually part of the praxis of the magic and study of Torah.
Right. Yeah. We have also, it is part of our tradition in Miriamic Judaism, I guess, to accept and embrace Jewish mysticism, Jewish the Kabbalah, the Merkava and Hekkalot literature, and the Jewish folk magic practices that are within the culture, but within the culture. We embrace them, and we have set ourselves apart in one other way, I would say, and that is that we hold firm on our belief that anybody can become a Jew through self-declaration. And we do not have a complicated conversion process. We're not proselytizing either, but we're not going to turn people away who 3 times
who don't have the lineage,
who don't have the
or
lineage,
the
exactly.
proper, upbringing, background, because
We're
really
here to
it's
accept you.
Yeah.
We're here to accept you and to help you become a more powerful practitioner of righteous magic, and to try to help you repair the world, right? Tikkun Olam, right?
Repair the world.
Repair the world.
And the concept of monotheism, just like your God is my God, all of our gods are the same God. They're one and the same. They're one being, which encompasses everything. So you don't have to give up your background, your culture. Maybe you still have practices and magical practices or traditions that
occurred in your family or whatever
that you hold dear. There's no reason
yes,
to
exactly.
shed that
Yeah.
and declare, you don't have to wash away your former life to celebrate God in his various forms.
Yeah. That's right.
So
Wonderful. Are there any
about the-
rules that you follow being a member of the Temple of Miriam?
Yes, there are 3 basic rules. One is, of course, since we are Jewish, right? We dedicate, we hold dear dedicate fealty to the Jewish God, and that, so that's, if you're going to be part of that, that's self-defining. Okay, so that's 1. Number 2, don't murder. Okay, don't murder. Okay, and then number 3 is do not commit non-consensual sexual crime, right? Harm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those are the 3 unbreakable laws. We have a creed, okay? A creed. Our creed happens to be from my 66th direct great-grandfather, Hillel the Great, who, when a person came to him and said, "Why should I convert to your religion, Judaism? Why should I convert to Judaism? If you can tell me what your religion is, if you can sum it up while I'm standing here on one foot, okay, on one foot, I will convert to your religion." And Hillel the Great, Hillel the Elder, said, "No problem." The guy was standing on one foot, and he said, "That which is abhorrent to you, do not do unto your neighbor. The rest is commentary. Now go study." Okay? That's what he said. That's the whole religion. That's it. The rest is commentary on it. That which is hateful to you is the golden rule. Okay? And every religion pretty much has its own form of it. It's a universal thing. That's why there's that poster. We all seen that poster. It goes around the internet. With everybody's got it. All right? That's the genius of it all. It's a big, whoa, what a huge revelation. Not really. Okay,
Yeah.
we can kind of all agree. So that's the rest of it. Now, that's why that person he said at that moment, it wasn't then that he embarked on the conversion, right? It wasn't after that. He was now Jew, and now he had to go study all the ways of how to be a nice person. Okay, so it's a lifelong process. So that's why we offer people the opportunity to convert just by self-declaring, we want to be a Miriamic Jew. We want to be Jewish. And that's something I think that sets us apart a little bit from other things. You want to be a Jew? That's fine. I'll consider you Jewish. I'll issue you a certificate of conversion, a shtar gerut is what that's called. And you're off and running. Now go study.
And they can do that through the Temple of Miriam website.
That's right. Absolutely. And we offer all the ways that you want to know how to better, make yourself a stronger, powerful, more effective person, like I said, powerful practitioner of righteous magic. Yeah. Repair the world.
I
Go
think-
study.
Seeing there's no charge for conversion.
No, no. It's
That's
why would there
awesome.
be a charge for something that you self-declare, right?
That's
Ruth
awesome.
in the book of Ruth, right? She says, what does she say in the book of Ruth? She says, your God is my God. Your family is my family, right? If we accept you. Your God is our God. Allah,
Even if
the
that's a
same God.
different
It's the same
God.
God. We accept you.
Even
Yeah,
if
and
that's a
why should there be a
different God,
charge
that's
for
cool.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. That's why I love going to the Mahariv with the Minyan every other week, and then of course the book club, and Parsha is just super fun.
It really is. It keeps getting more
It
fun.
keeps getting more
Yeah.
and more fun. Yeah, yes.
Well, it's a beautiful example of I think you've said it yourself. You get, how many Jewish people in a room, and you'll get twice as many opinions, and
Exactly.
The rest is commentary. That's the commentary.
That's all the commentary.
much
That's why
fun.
we have to go study.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
that's what we hope people will do. That they will come and learn all of these different things, these mysticism. We have book club, and we have lots of events. We're going to have workshops coming up. We just did a workshop on tarot and the Kabbalah that was this past yesterday. My gosh, it was part 3 of tarot and the Kabbalah. And you know what? As another thing that I decided that we've just decided to start ordaining people also at the Temple of Miriam.
That's
And
awesome.
we have rolled out ordinations in 47 of the states, I think, close to all of the now. But now think about this for a second. We had to do that, right? We do not believe in a sacerdotal or Kohanic or rabbinical system that a rabbi. We believe that you should have direct access to the divine without the need for a rabbi. Like, rabbis are great. You can go ask them whatever you want to ask them and get some input. That's great. And it's awesome. You can get 12 answers. And that's what we do all the time. We do that with Parsha, right? We do that all the time with Parsha, right? We talk about that. And it's great. But my relationship with the divine is none of anybody else's business. Okay. I do identify as Jewish. Okay. So it came a time where I was asked to officiate a wedding.
Yes.
And my only option was to do that through a non-Jewish organization. And I personally felt uncomfortable going outside of my sort of tradition and being ordained in a ministry that wasn't Jewish.
Right.
And so I've decided that even though we do not have rabbis or believe in the rabbinical system at Temple of Miriam, we will have ordained officiants. And so we will now, if you are Jewish and you want to become an ordained officiant and officiate weddings and various
Funerals.
Funerals,
Bar mitzvahs. Hand tying.
hand fasting ceremonies.
Hand fastings,
There's
Yeah.
plenty of that.
Interfaith ceremonies, baby namings,
Unions, whatever you want to call it.
purifications. Yes, you're
The human spectrum
legally
of
ordained.
ritual
You can
from
become
birth to death.
you can now become legally ordained at the Temple of Miriam the Prophetess.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
We want you to be able to take your spiritual matters into your own hands. Okay, into your own hands.
You're absolutely right. There's not a lot of people, and I agree with you. Everyone's equal, but there are times where you just can't do your own wedding. It's a little
Right.
Hold
Well,
on.
you get-
Let
you
me
can
jump
get
here,
advice.
say some vows. I'll jump over here, and then I'm gonna jump back. It gets a little confusing. So,
Right, you can't do your
there is a place in society for those that can do ceremonies and things like that, and that want to do it.
I want to do it exactly.
It's not fun to do a funeral or, be with somebody when they're passing over and stuff like that. That's actually the least fun, but it's important. It's necessary. It's part of tradition. People want it, but they don't necessarily want a person from that particular, mainstream religion or something. So I think that's really important what you're doing. So yeah, very cool. So anything else you'd like to say about the Temple of Miriam and some of the things you have coming up maybe, or?
Well, we are on all social media, except for that one or two, but I mean, you can definitely find us on, templeofmiriam.com. There's the events page. You can become a member. You can join our Discord. We have live. All of our Parsha and everything is on YouTube.
Right. We just uploaded an entire year's worth of Kabbalist Parsha study, and we're just starting the cycle again, which is very interesting with Vayera, and that's coming up on Tuesday, tomorrow, I guess, right? Yeah. And I got to see what I said last year, and so because I still have questions.
It's a living document.
Yes, exactly.
And that's on, now you have a YouTube channel.
Yep, we have a YouTube channel.
And that's the Temple of Miriam?
Temple of Miriam on YouTube.
Awesome. Yep. That's great. I'm going to have to follow that. I did not know that. I'm part of all the other ones, but you're a step ahead of me, Dr. Jeremy. I love it.
Yeah, we have, I think, several thousand subscribers. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We're good. And in our Discord, we have almost 1,400 people in our Discord, getting close to that. We have, we're not some fly-by-night organization. No. We have, I want to say that we have 27,000 people on our mailing list who, and so when we issued our conversions, and started converting people, we're now surpassed. We just started 66. Doing it. Now, guess what? We're up to almost 100. Okay, and so we we have ordained people out there, and we're becoming a very large organization, and so Miriamic Judaism is going to be here for a long time.
Exponentially. I think
do I understand that this is your concept of Judaism, Miriamic? Or
yes.
That's so cool. I love it. I absolutely love that. I think
this is my entire, I'm the founder, but this is my brainchild, and you can see the doctrine. If you want to pull up the doctrine on our website, it's on our blog. You can go to the website. The website has in its blog, it has an enormous amount of occult information, information about interesting topics about purification, the Shamir worm, Jewish magic topics, all that kind of stuff. And you can see things, for free and read about all of them, love magic and so on and so forth. Yeah. All of that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This is such an exciting topic, and I think my viewers are going to really, really love seeing more and checking out your website. I cannot recommend it more. It's wonderful. So, and we'll put all the information here so they can just click on it and go right there. So thank you so much, Dr. Jeremy and Chacam Leah, for taking the time. And I hope you have a wonderful February and happy love and all of that. So thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Blessings to you.
Is it your dream to be on television, to have your own TV show? If so, how do you do it? Contact your local public access TV channel or TV station in your town, and they will give you free training and teach you how to put on your own show. I want to thank everybody at CVC, Bolton Public Access Television, the Magical Alternative Crew, November Sound, and to our guests. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. We really appreciate it. And remember, peace in the Middle East, hostages home. Happy Valentine's Day.
is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. Is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. I said love was made for me and you. I said love was made for me and you.